And you can see it heading eastbound, obviously, from what Mandy had just said. Can't quite tell the speeds, but it is rush hour here. Kind of maneuvering around now, taking a little detour, getting back. Now we're actually on the sidewalk. Obviously, this is a little bit dangerous right here, going on into incoming.
This is a truck. You can see that they're going against traffic. We believe this is in St. Louis County. We have Steve Myers up in Bommarito Automotive Skyfox, who's been following this. We were told originally this was on Interstate 70, but now clearly they're off and they're going through busy intersections right now, barely missing cars. I don't see police.
Mandy, actually we're on Olive Boulevard right now.
Steve.
We just passed 270 and we're rolling down Olive at this point. We're coming up to Ballast there, which is where you see this truck, and he's gone through the intersection. You can see a police car chasing him there. I only noticed one at this point, but it's just a matter of time, I'm sure, before there are some others that are involved. But this truck is hauling it, taking a lot of risk that you wouldn't think somebody would do it at rush hour. So obviously they are intent on getting away, and that is a very large truck. So I'm hopeful that, quite honestly, that they don't hit anything, because there's going to be some damage here. I'm not exactly sure where we are here. I think we're over by the Deerbergs on West Oak there. We're just rolling on eastbound Olive and cutting through, weaving in and out of traffic. You know, the police are here. They're a little ways behind him there. We'll go ahead and widen out just a little bit so you can see that's, you know, it's a few car lengths, but we are rolling down Olive right down the center. And you can see how thick the traffic is, and you know, I suspect that as slow as the traffic is going now, he's going to have to try and use that middle lane if he's trying to get away from the police car.
He's moving over into that turning lane.
They are in pursuit.
How long is
there is only one car in pursuit. My understanding earlier from the news desk is that this is a robbery suspect from St. Charles County, although I have yet to be able to confirm that. But certainly you can see the kind of traffic chances this individual is taking here as we approach. I think that's Dealman, but I'm not certain about that. But we just took a left turn there. We're headed north into a residential area where the speed is going to increase quite a bit, I'm sure, just because they can.
Steve, they're telling us that Shoots Road. They're telling us that
I'm sorry, Mandy, what'd you say?
No, the desk is telling us that Shoots Road. I know you're trying to keep your eye on the
okay.
camera.
I believe you. I'm afraid I'm tight enough on the shot here where it's a little bit difficult for me to do that. But, you know, the danger in getting into these residential areas is that obviously traffic is moving much slower. Now we're going to try and get across here. You know, I just hope there's nobody in the way that is going to cause this particular vehicle to go out of control and impact anybody else. But we, you know, again, we're rolling quite a bit on Shoots Road. You know, I'm not a great judge of speed from the helicopter, but I'd say this guy's doing a good 50 or so miles down in a residential area. And you can see, you know, we're all over the road here, so any number of things, you know, could happen.
Steve, I'm curious, do you know how long that chase has been?
Shoots, eventually, you know, yeah, we're gonna hit another serious road here, and we are now headed straight across. I don't know where this area is. Looks like we're headed into a residential area full of apartments.
Steve, how long have you been with this chase?
Stay with this guy. Obviously, we have a little bit of a problem here with the trees, but we're going to try and hang with him here so we figure out where this individual goes, besides across the grass and onto another road. You know, that's the thing about a truck this large. They're going to carve out their own path if necessary. And we are back on the road again. Unfortunately, I don't know which one it is, but oh my, here we
just
go.
Crashed. Yeah, he just crashed.
This is now a traffic accident. We're going to see what happens here, whether or not the individual gets out of here. That was a pretty hard hit against that wall and the car into this home. Obviously, we're crawling out on the side here. That person seems to be getting on the ground. We can see the police officers there.
The police got there very quickly.
Breaking live on Channel 2. You know, this they pushed in that garage door there with the car, and we have police officers here with weapons drawn. Person is on the ground, at least at this stage of the game. I think they are getting ready to cuff this individual, and they have the situation under control.
And it also appears, Steve, I guess there was just one suspect. I'm curious, how long were you following that chase?
Oh, I think we were on it probably about a minute and a half before you guys came to us. So we had just picked it up, and they had already gone quite a distance in the county area before they got into St. Louis County proper and started going down all of the other areas. They're going through the truck now. It does appear as though there is only one individual here. We've got a lot of clothing that's being dragged out, but that individual is now cuffed on the ground and in control of the police.
All right, Steve, we're going to update. We're going to stay with you and keep this live picture going and update our viewers on what's happening. You're looking at the end of a police chase where this truck has crashed into the side of a home, rammed the car that was sitting in the driveway into the garage. Thankfully, didn't seem to be anyone in the driveway. The police have that one person who we believe was a robbery suspect, possibly out of St. Charles. They have him on the ground. He surrendered once he crashed. You could see police holding up their hands, trying to tell whoever was in the home to stay inside and to stay back. But this truck traveling high speeds, swerving in and out of traffic, going in the wrong direction along a busy Olive Boulevard, past Ballas, up Schutz Road, and just barely missing cars and thankfully not hitting anyone during this police chase. But now that person is in custody, and we're trying to get more information on exactly what brought all of this about and why he took off from police. Now,
just thankful it ended the way that it did. We've seen these crashes injure and come to obviously worse endings than what we saw today. We appreciate Bommarito Automotive Sky Fox, Steve Myers, giving us that shot that we're seeing right now that we've been following. We picked it up, as Steve said, a couple minutes as that chase was going on, and very, very fortunate nobody was hit. Very dangerous as that person was trying to elude police.
Yeah, we're not exactly sure this exact location, but we know that it was an apartment complex. He was swerving in and out of the parking lot and going over different areas in that parking lot, barely missing cars. But this is a home where he just rammed at high speed into the side of it, and you can see when our helicopter does swing around that it did a lot of damage to that house.
Yep. One of his last turns, it was off of, we believe, Schutz. It was right off of Schutz Road, one of his last turns. And then, of course, made a quick turn into that driveway at house as he's being picked up and led away by police.
And we're not sure all of the agencies who are involved in this, but likely several police agencies. But he is now in custody. Only one person believed to be in that white truck. But we're thinking that it did all start as a robbery, possibly in the St. Charles County area, and going for miles on 70 and then onto Olive and up Schutz Road. But somewhere in that vicinity, we're going to narrow that down for you and get you more information just as soon as we can. But you saw it all unfold live here on Fox 2 News at 5. And we'll continue to follow this and bring you more when we come back.
If you can put this out again, that we're covering this live, I've been doing it. All right, I want to update everybody, and let's start the whole story here. This is a vehicle that is being chased by police, or at least was. It started in the Inglewood neighborhood. We heard at one point right off the Dan Ryan near about 67th Street. The vehicle was being chased by Chicago police, and then was able to get on the southbound side of the Dan Ryan Expressway. And Pam is showing you it here now. Went out the Dan Ryan, out I-57, and we are currently southbound I-57, heading down towards 147th Street. The Tri-State, that new Tri-State interchange, a few years old, that is a possibility. Heard at one point that this vehicle struck a Chicago police. All right, if folks can stay with us here. We're going to talk the transmission here a bit. All right, never mind, okay. All right, this is southbound I-57, southbound Interstate 57. We are approaching 159th. I'm going to talk to my pilot for 1 second here. What's bingo, Roger? All right, thank you. Again, if you haven't watched live streaming before, it's a lot more casual. We have a lot going on. What I was just talking to my pilot about was how much fuel we have left. You're looking at a high-speed pursuit that started on the city's south side near 67th, just west of the Dan Ryan. And this vehicle is now crossing the 159th exit. I thought he said never mind. Steve, we are not switching, right? We're not switching? Okay. My educated guess here is this vehicle is going to go south on 57 and probably just keep going south. So we may get pretty far south at some point. All right, so just listening to what's called ISPERN, that is the Illinois State Police Emergency Response Network. Again, the Chicago police started this chase. Once it got onto the Dan Ryan, they terminated it. Again, we've told you about this with chases before. It's not as simple as going after the vehicle and trying to get it. Everybody's safety has to be priority one. So a lot of police agencies here now maybe don't even want to get involved with how erratic this vehicle is going. Getting off 159th there, Roger? All right, the vehicle is now exiting, and that is, I believe, the westbound 159th Street exit. Westbound 159th. Roger, is that a police helicopter? All right, we've got a police helicopter that is right. Did he turn back around, Pam? All right, the police just did a 180 now. And the vehicle is now heading eastbound on 159. Exited westbound on 159, turned around in the Cloverleaf, and is now heading eastbound 159th towards the Markham area. We're updating things on social media here too. All right, so now the vehicle is eastbound on 159th. We are approaching Western Dixie Highway in that area. You may see here at a much lower level than us, there is a police helicopter that has picked this up as well. And it's turning around, and it flows at a much, much lower altitude than we do. So now the vehicle heading eastbound on 159th. We're in the Markham area. I misspoke before. We're heading towards Kedzie now. So we're heading towards Kedzie. The police helicopter is following this vehicle now. Again, the Chicago police terminated this chase quite a while ago. And I had heard on that Illinois State Police Emergency Response Network that a lot of the suburban municipalities were not picking up the pursuit. Again, safety is priority one, and this vehicle being pursued at a high rate of speed actually may put people in more danger, even though I'm sure that they want to get this vehicle. It hit a Chicago squad. Looks like it's slowing down here. We're going at the stoplight here. So we're eastbound 159th and Kedzie. Let's see what happens here. Eastbound 159th and Kedzie, there is a squad right in the middle of the intersection, right on the other side of the street. Pam, wide out in just a little bit, Pam. You don't want to lose it, I know, but right above, up from where Pam is, there's a squad. They're coming out, and I think this is coming. There's your squad that's coming in right now. There's another squad. So we've got a lot of Markham squads, and here we go. Squads are moving in. 159th and Kedzie, eastbound 159th and Kedzie. Squads are moving in. They are coming up to the car. Use caution here. Weapons drawn, stay wide. Weapons are drawn here. We're going to go wide. We're going to go wide here to make sure that we don't show anything here live on the air. So we're eastbound 159th at Kedzie here. A lot of suburban vehicles there on the scene. They have come into the scene here. More coming on. Looks like it's ended, and hopefully this suspect will surrender peacefully. We'll have an arrest. Suspect's on the ground. Guys, can we go back in? The suspect is on the ground. News desk, the suspect's on the ground. I think we can go back in, Pam. Okay, we're going in now. Suspect is on the ground. And it looks like we are going to have an arrest here. And a suspect is in handcuffs. This is eastbound 159 towards Kedzie. We're near Markham. A pursuit and a chase, although a lot of the police terminated at one point that started in the city's Inglewood neighborhood near the area of 63rd and Yale. There are several suspects here now. There were 4 that were inside the vehicle, Pam's telling me. And everybody is down on the ground. This started in the Chicago Inglewood neighborhood near 63rd Street, west of the Dan Ryan, went out the Dan Ryan, went out I-57, and has ended here in the Markham area near 159th and Kedzie. Yes, sir. I've got you. All right. Copy that. We'll be coordinating our 6 o'clock news, and we'll have this live in the 6 o'clock news in about 10 minutes or so as this pursuit comes to an end here on eastbound side of 159th.
Cheryl, that is Alex Sparkman's 2009 Ford Escape right there. It was stolen from her Lincoln Park condo early last week. She thought it was gone forever. But then her friend got an ABC7 tweet of this feed a little less than 24 hours ago. And today, for better or for worse, she has her vehicle back.
From Englewood down to the Hazel Crest border with Markham.
We run a plate, that's flat. Yeah, it's coming back stolen. Took a spot car. Is anybody injured? Okay, before he hit our car, we're fine.
Is that your car?
That is my car.
How strange is it to see your car in that situation?
It was pretty crazy. I actually didn't realize it was in the chase until a friend had sent me a message on Facebook. He saw it on ABC7's Twitter feed and sent me a message, and I knew immediately that it was my car just because of the 2 stickers on the back.
The chase involved shoulder riding, dangerous maneuvers, and high speed. Eventually, Chopper 7 HD captured the arrest of 4 suspects near a car dealership in Hazel Crest. One of the staff there said they heard at least one suspect laughing.
Clearly, they don't see the consequences to their actions.
Yeah. And yelling to witnesses to put his name on Facebook.
I was hoping it would turn up. I was being optimistic, but I really wasn't expecting to ever see it again.
After getting off her computer, Sparkman says she called Chicago police. A few hours later, they told her to retrieve her ride, sporting a dent from the chase, at the police station in Englewood. We found it.
Yeah, it definitely smells.
Back in the same spot from which it was stolen.
It's dirty. They used my car handles as ashtrays. There was candy wrappers and a lot of stolen goods.
After what happened, Sparkman says the car that took her to college is now likely too sullied for her to keep.
The inside is nothing like the last time I saw it. It smells like smoke and other horrible things, so just not a good situation.
And she hasn't decided for sure that she's going to sell it, but she probably will. And still, no charges have been filed about those 4 people who were arrested. You saw there, they are all in the custody of the Chicago police tonight.